All right, hey guys, welcome back to the BonaFide channel. I'm sitting here with my buddy Ian Ithiel.
Got it right?
I got it right this time, yes.
You got it.
As our BonaFide artist of the week. Not only are we good friends, but we also really enjoy eating Famous Dave's together.
We do.
Which we just recently found out.
We did.
Which was really tasty.
Super good.
Got the combo platter.
Combo.
Is it even called the combo platter? Is
I don't remember what it's called, but it was amazing.
It had basically anything you'd ever want.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it was very filling.
So good.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated.
Got it.
You are a music artist, a social worker, and you want to use your experiences to impact others' lives, right?
Yeah.
How did you first get your background with music?
Yeah. So, background with music. That started, I want to say when I was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
3, yeah. So, my mom used to play the piano, and I'd come home and she'd be playing the piano.
Yeah.
It sparked my interest, though. And so, from 3, heard her playing the piano, and then as I got older, I wanted to get more into it myself. So I started playing the flute for a little bit.
The flute?
Yeah, started with the flute, and then came to Minnesota. This is fast forward to college. Went to McNally-Smith's College of Music. It was called that when I went. Previously, it was called Music Tech, I believe.
Okay.
But went to McNally-Smith College of Music for singing, and since then, I always knew I wanted to have more of a deeper involvement in music. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I ran with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard that the flute is one of the hardest instruments to have as like a first instrument. Is that actually true?
Yes.
Okay.
So true. So a lot of kids don't pick the flute to start with because you have to make a sound.
Oh, okay.
Pick up the drums, hit it, and
Yes,
make a sound.
there you go.
Flute, you have to, to blow into it. It's a woodwind instrument.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
so you really have to figure out
Yeah.
how to blow into it to make it even, sound. But
And that's probably, is that more difficult than the actual fingering of...
I would say that's more difficult than the actual fingers.
Okay.
But yeah, it took a little bit, but I finally got it.
That's super cool.
It's been a while since I've played it, but
I mean, mad respect regardless. That's super cool. And so you have this kind of background in music, kind of inspired by your mom a little bit, like going to music school, and I'm guessing becoming a better singer through that, is my guess.
Definitely.
What made you want to start creating music?
So, like I said, I wanted to take a deeper route into music. I always knew I wanted to make it something that I could build a career out of, but I wasn't quite sure. And so I just kind of dove into being creative. I'd listen to R&B music, I'd listen to pop, I'd listen to classical, I'd listen to country, all of that. And I would just pull from those genres of music and just let that flow out of me to create something that I could call mine. So that's kind of how I got into that.
That's super cool. Now, would you say, this question is a little bit unscripted actually, to be honest. What, in terms of the music that you create, would you say that you take inspiration from like a wide variety of different genres and kind of...
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
okay.
I feel like all of us do. I feel like there's different things that we pull from that speak to us that we get our creativity from. And it's the same for me as well. Yeah.
Dang. What genre would you say, if you could put your music into like a specific genre? I know sometimes that might be hard to do, but can you do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So generally, Connor, I don't like to box myself.
Okay.
So I don't like to speak of my music as being one genre. I like to try different things. So I might do an R&B album. I might do some hip hop. I might do some pop. I might do some country. Who knows? Some rock.
Hey.
But I think to help the audience out, I think my sound currently right now sounds more pop and R&B-ish.
Okay.
But I definitely want to dive into and have dove into different genres. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. And you recently came out with some music.
Yeah, so recently. Yeah.
And we can get there at some point for sure. Could you put that into like a type of genre, or is it pretty varying?
Sneak peek. I'd say that is more 80s funk, 80s pop.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If there was one message that you wanted to convey to whoever was listening to your music, what would that message be, I guess?
Yeah, I think it'd be hope. Hope and inspiration. I think in a time right now, especially 2020, has been ridiculous for all of us. I think hope and inspiration would be my main message that I want people to take away. I think with everything going on, it's easy to lose yourself. It's easy to feel like you're not going anywhere. It's easy to feel depressed and it's down,
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that even with this new project that, I just released, I'm hoping that sparks some creativity in people, boosts people's morale up, and just gives us all some hope and some excitement. I kind of planned the new album to kind of feel like an escape from, COVID-19, from the racial injustice, all of this.
Absolutely.
And so I'm just hoping that this album kind of does that and sends the listener into a dream world. That's what I'm hoping for. So
that's really cool. And I mean, the inspiration behind that, I think, is just so refreshing. Especially a lot of people are stuck at home, or a lot of people are facing plenty of difficulties during this time, during this pandemic, during just all the things that are going on in Western society.
Yeah.
With the pandemic, with being stuck at home, how's that pandemic, COVID-19, impacted you? Maybe is that tough? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but definitely a good question.
Okay.
One word to describe how it has affected me would be drained. Starting when COVID-19 first came on the scene, it was this new thing, we didn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It didn't really faze me. Even the stuff with that happened in Minneapolis and all that, the George Floyd, all that, even that didn't really faze me. Because I feel like what we're finally seeing is what's been happening. Mm-hmm. So I felt like, this is reality finally being brought to the big screen, But for COVID, when it first came out, I wasn't fazed by it until it started coming close to home, until it started, affecting my family, affecting my friends, affecting people that are close to me, loved ones. And so in that moment, I started to feel drained, definitely. And, you can't operate from a glass that's half empty, and as me being a social worker, you pour into people a lot of yourself, to help them succeed. And if you're not operating from a full glass yourself, you're not going to have nothing left to give others. So
absolutely,
it definitely affected me. Yeah, definitely did. As has affected so many people.
Absolutely. Has it also had an impact on the music you've been creating as well?
It has.
Okay.
It definitely has.
Can you say more about that?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
So I actually have another song coming out that's called Drained.
Okay.
Specifically, it's kind of dark,
okay.
rough around the edges, but it's specifically about how, this whole thing has affected me. And then what I recently put out yesterday, there's a whole EP dedicated to, COVID-19 and just escaping that. And I'm hoping people can, truly have that getaway from this experience. So
absolutely,
I'm excited.
No, I'm excited to listen to it myself.
Yeah,
and I bet everyone else should listen to it as well. And I mean, you touched on this a little bit with regards to Minneapolis and kind of elephant in the room, the murdering of George Floyd, and all of the rise and the crying out for and the new thrust of social justice.
Yeah.
Can you speak more about how that's impacted you, or maybe even in your music? I mean, you touched on that a little bit. I just didn't know if you want to give more clarity to that.
Yeah. So going more into that.
Only if you're comfortable, of course.
Yeah. No, of course. I think as a person of color, I think finally, in a way, this finally gives a viewpoint to what's really been going on in this country. I think so often the marginalized people, the people that we don't accept in society, whether, that's for race or sexual orientation or female, I think oftentimes it gets, pushed aside. It doesn't get looked at. It doesn't get its true acknowledgement of the issues that they face. And so I feel like, in a way, all the stuff that's happening is finally a wake-up call to us in this country. Like, hey, let's fix this, because it hasn't gone away. It's still here, and it's something we need to deal with. And so, so for me, I feel it's kind of a blessing in a way that it's finally being put on stage. Same with COVID-19, and this is probably going to feel really bad to people, but I kind of see that as a blessing as well. For the fact that it got us all to come home, got us all to slow down. It put us all on pause, put the world on pause, I believe. And I think it is for a good reason. I think if COVID-19 hadn't sent us all back home to be with our families, our loved ones, we maybe would not have seen everything that we have seen. We wouldn't really focus on the issues that need to be dealt with. And so I feel like in a way, it was time, and maybe something that we needed to go through. So absolutely, But I definitely wish everyone, including, as I'm speaking, everyone, even including me, I hope we get through this. So definitely, and I know we will.
Absolutely,
it's tough.
That's one of the things I really appreciate. One, I'm very much learning in this period of life, and I just am so grateful for just even chatting with you off camera, just the grace and the peace that you have for the people around you during this time has just been really cool and real inspiration to me. And so I towards me has just been so. I'm just very thankful for it. And very cool.
Of course, man.
Absolutely. In the midst of this, all this, one of your songs is actually called "Way Up."
Way up, exactly.
So in the midst of this, right, times can be, tough. Road can be chaos. Things can be dark. How do you, kind of with that in mind, how do you become like on your way up? Which I think you say in the song. Like, exactly.
Big part of that is my faith, definitely. I think without God, actually, I know without God, can't do any of this. And that was kind of inspiration behind Way Up. And that also features a good friend of mine, goes by Monotone. He's on there, does a little rap section on it. Super cool guy, you should check him out as well. But the song was meant to uplift, meant to turn those things, the negative things that face you, and say, no, you're not going to hold me down, I'm still on my way up. And so, I talk about faith in there as well, waiting on your appointed time for when you're supposed to move forward, when you're going to succeed. And so, faith definitely plays a role. And I think without it, I don't have a clear vision, a clear compass as to where I'm going, but it steers me.
Definitely. Now, you alluded to this earlier a little bit, and I was trying to, kind of keep people on a string a little bit, kind of, not give too much away, but you have a new EP coming out.
I do.
Do you want to kind of share with us a little bit?
Should I talk about it? I don't know.
You don't have to.
I don't know if they're ready. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But no, so the new EP is called Quarantine Reality.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, it is basically an escape, my take on COVID-19. I want it to feel like a dream world, like you're literally leaving the hurt, the pain that you're going through. Yeah, let's talk about it, but let's not focus on it so much. So it's an EP, shorter than an album, just a few songs, but those songs they play off each other. And like I said, I took it back on this one. 80s funk, definitely.
Dang.
I feel like, who doesn't love the 80s? 2020's been crazy. Let's take it back to, fun times. So, I went this route and worked with a wonderful, wonderful friend of mine, a great producer, goes by 8Funk.
Okay.
And so we teamed up, and I'm so excited for this one.
Absolutely. And for the people who are listening, where can we find it?
Yeah. So the EP, that's going to be exclusively available on Bandcamp, the Bandcamp page. Yeah. And so there'll be a link to it as well that you can find. Link to it. But absolutely. Yeah.
And I can put that in the description of the video for sure. For your other music and just for you, where can people find you at in social media or your music in general?
Yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all of that. It's Ian Ithiel. Ian Ithiel. And that is spelled I-A-N. First name, last name spelled Ithiel, so I-T-H-I-E-N.
No spaces, no underscores.
No spaces,
Absolutely.
One word, and then I'm on Spotify, Tidal, SoundCloud, Apple Music, all that stuff. So
everywhere.
Yeah.
Or at least the major platforms for sure.
Yeah.
This has been, it's such a blessing, and I've really enjoyed and appreciated you taking the time.
Of course, man. Anytime.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.